Alrighty then. I am back. There we go. Video. Okay, so I just wanted to show off. I acquired this a few days ago. Just haven't had a lot of chance to play with it. It is a program called Dungeon Alchemist, um, and it's basically just a quick map maker, and it's really nice. It's well worth the money, I think. So basically, you can go to new when you hit new map. You can hit print. Basically, the grid square is going to be limited to the size of the paper you would like to um, put it on. Okay, so they have the basic uh, sizes and whatnot, and then you can do landscape or whatever. But you can also do digital, which it doesn't restrict the size because of, obviously it's digital. You can put the number of tiles for it to go across. You can change the terrain. Right now it's just forest and grasslands. You can change the elevation if you want to have a ford, mountains, floodplains, a ravine, a canyon, whatever. You can change the vegetation a little bit. You can put a river, lake, lakeside, or island, however you want to do it. Um, I'm going to do lakeside for this one just to give a picture of the thing. So here it is. It spits out the map, and then you can change the angle. Of course, you can spin it all around. And if you look, there's lighting. See the lighting that it's simulating? You can also move the map around. So if you make it rather large, the trees are actually editable. So you can say like, you know what? I want to move this tree over here. I want to move this tree over next to this tree. I don't like this bush. We're gonna get rid of it. You can also deform the terrain, so you can raise the terrain, make it a little bit higher over here. You can lower the terrain, make the lake go in. You, if you wanted to, the water actually fills in. So look, I can actually make it say it's like a river into that area. But we're gonna actually delete all of that. You can actually Control Z and move back to other stuff. You can change the lighting on it again. So now we make it nighttime. You know, change the position of basically of where the sun is at. And you can change coloration. So if you want to have Moore's Leb shining down upon the world for Warhammer, and then, but you can go up here. So the basic um, of the map itself is so very simple. So let's say I want to put maybe a little cottage near this lake, basically. I can go to village, pick something like a smithy, a town square, whatever, tavern with some extra rooms, a mansion, a bunch of different things. Festive. This is just like a little gingerbread house. I can do a crypt and a castle and an alchemist laboratory. So you can do all kinds of stuff right now, and I'm assuming that it's just going to get better and better and add more and more stuff. But there's plenty now. So I'm going to do a village, and I want. Well, shoot, there's really nothing I really want on this list. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do some stables. So we're gonna go over here, and it's very simple. Like I said, you can just go and say, okay, I want the stables to be here. Just click the checkbox, and the alchemist creates the room. Granted, this is for a castle, so you can see a lot of stonework um, on there. But there's the doors in front. There's the stable. There's little stairs that it looked like they would go up to a loft. Now, granted, I don't know a way to do upper floors just because this is creating a simple plan. But again, if you don't need it, you just hit that and you get rid of it. We go back to let's create a tavern with a great hall next to this river. There it is. And you can take a look around. Of course, change the view. You can also just hit the thing up here to go, hey, that's what it looks like. This is an overhead with 3D walls, actual 3D, and again, just like a map. So this is, if you wanted to print this out, you could print this out for players to go on. But here we go. This is the part that I think is amazing about this program. So it created this room. I can go into this room and edit this room by clicking on it and saying, you know what? I don't like the way this is designed. Just give me refresh the room, redesign it. Nope, still don't like that one. Let's do it again. You hit it a couple times. It does some stuff. Oh, look, there's like a little counter over there. Granted, yeah, there's a hearth there. So you can randomly create it. Now, granted, it's not changing it as much as I thought it would, keeping the two tables there. But you can change the room type. So this is supposed to be a great hall, but if I wanted to turn it into a brewery, there it is. Change it back to a great hall. Ta-da. Okay, so, and as if that wasn't good enough, you can actually come back into here and hit this part right here, the place objects, and go into here and go, okay, you know what? I'm not a fan of this bar thing here because there's the door. I want the door to be on the lake side. So you can actually grab the door and move it around and say, okay, there we go. I want it to be there. You can have the door open. That's outside, inside. You can go, okay, I don't like this counter being here, so I'm going to delete it. Or you can hit it and hit the little delete thing. Oops, actually, I got rid of the thing. This is like a little dice thing, and I can rotate it around, or I can just say, nah, I don't want it there. I want this in the center of the table. Too many jugs over here. We're going to get rid of a couple of those. This lantern needs to be on the counter. This mug needs to be over here. And I also would like this mug. I would also like this mug to be bigger. There it is. Get rid of that boar's head. I don't want this stuff on its head. There, we can do this. Let's move this over here. I want to add something. Let's add a barbecue pit. Oh, actually, there's a nice well with a bucket. Let's put it outside. Bam. There it is. But you can go through here and you can go, okay, furniture. Where's my furniture? Food and drink. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put an apple on this table. I'm just going to copy and put a couple apples right there. I think they should actually be in a basket. So I could look for a basket if I want. All right, there's a wedge. Cheese wedge. Rotate it around. Too many casks. Let's get rid of the cask. And let's move this. There. There's lighting. There's furniture. There's a bookcase. There's a bathtub. All kinds of goodies. So you can create the room however you want. And the best part is I've already tested this. But this little candle that's on, I can turn the candle off and on. This candle over here, this lantern, let's say I turn it off. This room is actually when I do this, and that's the doorway there, it's got the windows right here. when I go up to file and I hit export, it actually asks me, do I want it to be an image only, which means is a way of printing it for your tabletop game, with your players. You spit it out. Um, It'll keep the grids on and off if you want the grids to be on or the grids to not be on, so you can use miniatures or not. Or you can go look Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, or Universal Virtual Tabletop. I use Foundry, so I can click on Foundry. And there's actually a little help, so you can actually click on this and it'll take you to a web page that will describe how to add this into Foundry properly. And I'm assuming it's going to do the same for the other ones. Do I want perspective walls, which means those 3D walls, or just a flat, the top-down view? Do I want to render the lights that are in the image and also export it? I only want to export the lights to VTT and not have them be the lighting effect that's on the map. I can have that not be on the map, but in the virtual tabletop as well. I can change the image quality a little bit if I wanted to, color, transparency, etc. I hit export and it's actually going to create a Foundry map, and then if I follow the instructions, the map will actually have this lighting effect of this candle, and these candles over here, this torch and this candle in the map. And this door, I can click on this door in Foundry and it'll have all those effects in the Foundry. So that's another reason that it's really is super amazing to me, because you can create whatever in here. Let's see if I've got a couple of maps. For example, here's a tavern that I created already. This was before I realized I could make the area larger. So I just made the little tavern in here. There's a sleeping room in there. There's some stuff in here. I've got some things out here because I moved it out of the tavern. Again, I was running out of room. I have an estate that I was working on. As you can see, this is going to be a big one. I have to play around because you can do walls. So I can do a wall around the estate if I wanted to. This is an archway into here. I really need to make some changes, but this is some of the things that you can do in here. There's a picture, and one of the things I did, I wonder if I still have it. No, it's not here. Let's go to this one. I'll load this map real quick. Okay, so this map is actually, ignore this part over here, but this map right here is of one of the local game stores that I play games at with my daughter and stuff. And they have a room over here with big tables for people to do miniature battles. They have all their products in this area. There's the counter. They have some free tables over here for playing games. They have a couple of little craft tables and a big whiteboard here. They have 2 private rooms for doing role-playing stuff. So I kind of simulated it here. And actually, I can actually zoom in. That's their logo. Third Coast Games right there. That's their actual logo there. And these guys are my favorite podcasters. It's the Grim Podcast of Perilous Adventure. Gah, Papa. I love those guys. They're part of the PCN, I believe, is their parent thing, which is the Professional Casual Network. Love those guys. They are great. You should look them up. If you like Warhammer playthroughs, and I believe they do Pathfinder 5e as well, which is, I forgot, Lost Omens or something like that. I'm not into that, so I don't listen to that. There's a few other things I do like about them. Oh, and this picture over here, that's actually my daughter. And, oh, wow, I have to blur that out. You can almost see the license plate on my Jeep. But that's my Jeep. That's our Christmas thing. That's my daughter sitting in front of it. And I was able to insert that into the frames. Can't do that on this board, however. But this is, like I said, this is, on that, so I'm going to move that around. There's a little dollhouse that's down there. Ouija board there, some dice tray, and some books, and there's some cabinets in there. But it's something that I was playing around with, and I found out you could do certain things on it. But again, you can port this stuff into the actual foundry. So I like to open the blank map, because that's one of the downsides right now of the Dungeon Alchemist starting up. It wants to start the last map that you are working on, and depending on how much you have on the screen laid out in front of you in this, it loads up much slower, basically, while it's loading up all that stuff. So let me pull out of that, and I'm going to take us to, I'm going to show off. I want to show just something real quick. I want to see if it's going to pull this up or not. That is rather annoying when it does that. I have to re-click on it to get it to pop up again. Okay, so this is Foundry with the Warhammer modules in there. I actually have like all of them, as you can see. I just paid hundreds of dollars to get them all, but you can piecemeal it. You pay the basic 20, 30, I think, for the basic core Warhammer, and then go, my suggestion is like every payday or something, grab another module or whatever, and then you don't have to grab the enemy within stuff or whatever if you're not doing them. I got Rough Nights and Hard Days because I have the hard copy of it. Love it. But it has everything in here. But if you go to scenes, there is a scene right here, Tavern 2. Oops, wrong button. Right click, view scene. This is a map made in Dungeon Alchemist. So I made it and I imported it in here, and this is actually a character, and if you click on it, look at that. Okay, so if this character was outside of the map, this is what he sees. And actually, where's my lighting? I can reset let's reset the fog of war real quick, and you can actually see the little lines in here for the lighting effects and whatever. But I click on it, and this is what he can see because there's a window there. This is a closed door. So if I move him right here, let me get rid of this pause thing just so you can see a little bit better. So he's actually looking through the windows here and here, because it's a daytime on the map itself. So if I click on this is a Foundry feature. The door opens, and now look at that. I can see. Now I close the door, it grays out. And what that does is, just to go over Foundry, I know I was trying to talk about Dungeon Alchemist, but what it does is when this door is open and all this is bright, any bad guys that are here can be seen. So matter of fact, let me go back here and let me just grab a guy and put him right there. Okay, oops. So I click back on him. Now I close the door. Boom. See how it's grayed? So it represents that you have seen that area. So there's a table here with some stuff. There's some bar stools here. There's a bar counter here. But you can't actually see the person sitting on the bar stool. See? Because it's not. Now, should this guy move over here, now suddenly he can be seen. Okay, and now I'm clicking back and forth, but had I been just this character down here at the bottom, this guy would have appeared as soon as he crossed this line, and when he moves back, he would have disappeared as he moved into that. So he would have been like, as a game master, I could move him around, and all of a sudden the guys are, oh no, he went over here. I don't know if he went in this room, jumped over the bar counter, et cetera, et cetera. But now I open the door, I move the character inside and see how the lighting and the 3D stuff changes. Oh, this door was open. So sorry, that's why you could see in there. I move him into the room, and now, boom, he sees the room. Okay. This is a new door. Open the door. That's what he sees. He walks through the door. He sees the room. But here we go. That kind of thing. And so you can, the entire thing can be like that. So there's a door over here somewhere that leads to this bedroom area. Just to show how well the Dungeon Alchemist coding is, in order to do this, normally you would have to throw down a map. And then once you put the map down, you have to assign it walls. See these lines? These are all lines that represent the walls. This is a window. This is the door. Window, 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 door, etc. And then you see how the lines are blocking off all of the rooms, that it's done that for us. Then you go to lighting. There's all of the lighting of all of the torches and whatever that's been sitting around on the map. So normally you have to draw all of this. You have to put all this lighting in. For example, I'm doing the Oldenhaller contract. This is what the players see. Oh, I've got it on set on Moore's Lab. But in order to block off the alleyway, I had to go in there and draw these lines. You can see I drew them because they're really crooked. But I draw these lines in here, and that's how I make it so that when you click on this guy, he doesn't see anything. So when I go in here and I reset the fog of war and I click on him, it's nighttime. That's all he sees. There's a lantern down here. And if I click the light, there's the light source. I had to put that there. I had to set this right here, all these settings for that lighting to have that effect there. I had to go into walls and put all these walls to make it so that my guy coming down the alleyway is like, oh, I don't know nothing. I don't see anything. What could possibly? Oh my God, there's a thief. But I had to build that. So that's the impressive part, is that the tavern is all pre-done. It just imported. But when I made it in Dungeon Alchemist, I exported it as a Foundry. There's, like I said, there's a few steps that you have to follow to get it all set up, but it's extremely easy. It can take you 15 minutes tops to create a 3 or 4 room building and throw it in and have lighting and walls and fog of war and whatnot. Into it. But that's just a quick down and dirty of Dungeon Alchemist, and it's amazing. So a little short little video for the world of Warhammer or any gaming, because you can do Dungeon Alchemist for almost anything. All right, well, that's it for tonight. I'm getting tired, and it's really super early in the morning. I'll upload this video, and then I'm going to bed. All right. See you guys around the table.